In the heart of the Osogbo forest, where the sacred river Osun flows like a vein through the land, there exists a power older than time itself. The Osun goddess, revered as the bringer of life, watches over her domain with an unyielding gaze. Watching over the forest and basking in the praises of her worshippers. Adeja, a man driven by greed and the whispers of forbidden knowledge, has come to the sacred river with a single purpose: to harness the power of the Osun goddess for himself. He is accompanied by his reluctant apprentice, Olimide, who senses the danger that his master, blinded by ambition, refuses to see. As they approach the riverbank, Adeja stops and surveys the area. The river is calm, its surface reflecting the darkening sky. "Today I become the most powerful man in the whole of Osogbo," he said, ignoring the unnatural stillness in the air, a silence that seemed to press down on them like a weight. The silence is accompanied by the faint rustling of leaves as if the forest is holding its breath. Adeja kneels at the riverbank, placing the gold amulet around his neck into the water. He pulls out a small, ornately carved wooden chest. The chest is covered in ancient symbols, some glowing faintly in the dim light. In his hands, he holds a chest of ancient power, passed down through generations, a relic of a time when mortals sought to bind the gods to their will. In it lies the key to the ritual, a spell that, if successful, will bind the goddess to his service. He opens the chest, revealing a collection of strange, arcane objects, a bundle of herbs, a silver dagger, and a vial of dark, thick liquid. He begins to arrange them in a circle on the ground, his movements precise and deliberate. Adeja begins to chant in a low, guttural voice. The chant is ancient, the words twisted and harsh, filled with dark intent. The wind picks up, swirling the leaves around them in a chaotic dance. Olimide stands a few steps behind, his face pale with fear. He clutches the leather sachet tightly, his knuckles white, his face showing the conflict within him, the desire to flee, to escape the madness, warring with his fear of his master's wrath. Olimide, though fearful and uncertain, is bound to his master by a loyalty born of desperation. But as the ritual begins, the air around them grows heavy and thick with a presence that makes his skin crawl. He knows, deep in his bones, that they are not alone. As Adeja's chant grows louder, the river begins to stir. The water ripples unnaturally as if something beneath the surface is waking. The whispering voices begin, soft at first, but quickly growing louder, overlapping into a dissonant chorus. The voices are feminine, filled with sorrow and rage, and seem to echo from the depths of the river. The Osun goddess, disturbed from her eternal slumber, awakens. Her whispers, filled with the ancient sorrow of the ages, rise from the depth of the river, mingling with the wind. Her presence, though unseen, is felt and fills the air with a cold dread that seeps into the souls of those who dare to summon her. Adeja, whose eyes have taken on a wild, feverish gleam, is oblivious to the growing danger. His focus is solely on completing the ritual. He takes the silver dagger and slices his palm, letting the blood drip into the river. The water darkens where the blood touches, spreading like ink in water. The goddess, enraged by the sacrilege, sends forth her warning. The earth trembles, the river swells, and the air is filled with her anger. But Adeja, blinded by his greed, pushes forward, his desire for power greater than his fear of the unknown. The river suddenly erupts in a violent surge of water, crashing against the shore with a force that sends Adeja sprawling. The chest is knocked into the river, sinking beneath the churning waters. The water begins to swirl, forming a whirlpool. From the center of the whirlpool, a dark, misty form begins to rise. Her form is ethereal, her body composed of swirling water and mist. Her eyes glow with an unnatural light, a piercing gold that cuts through the darkness. Her face is beautiful yet terrifying, a mixture of divine grace and righteous fury. The Osun goddess emerges from the depths. Her form, a manifestation of the river's power, towers above the mortal realm. Her eyes, glowing with the light of 1,000 suns, fix upon the trespassers with a fury that burns like fire. Aditya, now fully aware of the danger, scrambles to his feet. He stares up at the goddess, his face a mask of terror. At that moment, with realization in his eyes, the knowledge that he has made a grave mistake, that he has awakened a power far beyond his control. The goddess wails, followed by a deafening silence, filled with the weight of impending doom. The ocean goddess lowers her arms, and the whirlpool suddenly expands, sending a massive wave crashing towards the shore. Aditya tries to flee, but the wave engulfs him, sweeping him off his feet. He is tossed and turned in the raging waters, his screams drowned out by the roar of the river. The Oshobo forest is now engulfed in water. The trees are uprooted, and the earth trembles as the goddess unleashes her full wrath. Aditya struggling to escape, but swept away by the river's violent current, his screams drowned out by the roar of the water. Olumide barely clings to a tree, watching in horror as the forest is consumed by the goddess's fury, tears streaming down his face as he realizes their doom. The ocean goddess, her anger unstoppable, transforms the serene river into a weapon of destruction. The forest is devastated, and Aditya meets his tragic end, while Olumide is left to face the consequences of their actions.